After a bunch of kilometers, hours on the road, my distilling equipment is finally home. Is it still in one piece? Let's find out. Hey everyone, Distiller Greyling here, one of your favorite home and hobby distillers. Yes, they are finally here. After a lot of planning and a bunch of driving around from everybody, thank you everybody that was involved. My distilling equipment is finally home and it's time to open it up. So they've been sealed now for more than 2 years. Every now and again, just maybe popping them open to see if everything is still there. But it's going to be the first time in 2 years that I'm actually going to open them and see what's going on. So yeah, let's go for it. I had them sealed more for transport than for people taking something. I wasn't concerned about that. So just cable ties and proving to be a bit more stubborn than I thought. But yes, I used to use these drums for fermenting. All right, let's have a look. All right, first drum is open. So yes, as I can see, this was more of all the plastics. So let's see, measuring cylinders. Stock my large funnel. Use this a lot for straining and draining from one fermenter to the next one. Also, when I actually throw it into the 100-liter still, I also use this one quite a lot. Put a straining cloth on top of it, so it really worked well. Measuring jugs. This was more for just helping scoop out when you're from a mash to the still itself or when I'm busy straining. Got my smaller funnel as well. Here is my cooling coil. So yes, cooling coil used for my 100-liter pot when I was doing starch conversions and you had to cool it down during certain phases. Also when I was done with the starch conversion and had to cool the mash down for pitching the yeast and fermenting, use the cooling coil. Smells a little bit damp, so it probably wasn't drained fully, but it's okay. We will definitely have a look again when we try it out. All right, this is my retrot stand. We'll get that also assembled. All right, 20-liter fermenting bucket. Still looks good. A little bit weird out, but it's fine. So I've got 2 of them. I also played around with installing my aquarium heaters inside. So I had one on this side to help regulate the temperatures of the fermentation, and at the bottom had my drain valve in. Also have my temperature sticker still on, so that's also still okay. But we'll definitely see what we can have. All right, got some oak chips, probably for a little bit of wooding or aging your spirits. I don't know where I got these from. Doesn't even want to open, that's fine. Hey. Got cooling tubes. Yeah, very interesting. They were definitely still water in there when I put them in. It's actually mold that has grown. And it's dripping. Interesting. See, that's also when you do store something, make sure that they are dry. And at least I know that barrels are sealing, because I did seal them properly when I did for my fermentations. So it's definitely keeping moisture in, so that's good for fermentation. But for storing stuff, maybe not so good. Alright, no rinse sanitizer. I'm not sure if this is still working, but yeah, normally when I had to rinse equipment that I didn't want to re-rinse with water again, I would have this in this type of spray bottle and just spray it nicely, let it dry. It's a very good way of sanitizing your equipment and making it sure it's safe for fermentation. Let me just put this lid down here. All right, some more measuring cylinders, and this might be temperature. Oh no, it's a hydrometer, alcohol hydrometer, and it's still in one condition. One condition in one piece. Still in a good condition in one piece. All right, that's interesting. I thought I bubble wrapped them, but yes, shows that it's still okay. All right, just a hose to help me with connections. All right, what do we have here? Just a lid for one jug. Oh, here's the retort stands base, so it will technically stand like this, and then this part will screw in there, and then I have like adjustable arms that I can hold on the still. Just for support, I use it when I have it as a display, and that I will, you guys will see, but I'll have it as a display. And even when I distill, I also use it to help keep the still just, yeah, more stable. You don't want it to fall over. Nothing much there. Pea blue flowers, Thai blue pea flowers, can't remember. Yes, use it more for coloring your gin. So yes, we'll remember those. Here, starch indicator. When you do starch conversion, you need to check if you still have some starch in, you need to cook longer. It's good. Where we go here? Inverted sugars. Oh, so inverted sugars, if you make an alcohol, or you make a substance and you feel like it's a little bit too harsh, you can actually use a little bit of inverted sugars to bring down that strong taste of alcohol. Never really used it, bought it, but never used it. But yeah, have it here. We will see. And I just got lids. As you can see, water dripping, interesting, and then nothing else much. See a few pegs and string, and then just some water at the bottom. So I will definitely clean out the drum, dry it out as well, and use one for storage. The other one I might use for cooling, but I will just see. But I think that's the one drum. Let's check the second drum. All right, now for the second drum. I remember when I sealed these barrels with the cable ties, I was actually with my brother-in-law. Christo, thank you for having that lovely coffee. It was really nice talking to you as well. He actually helped me to seal the drums to make sure that they are good for transport. All right. All right, now for the second drum. All right, so this is a bit more packed. This is also the heavy one. I remembered when Gilbert carried this one from his bucky to my dad's bucky, and I saw the photo. I could see him really sweating because this barrel is a quite heavy one. So let's see what we have in here. It's like almost a coffee molasses smell that comes out of here. What we will see. All right. All right, this is the induction stove. So I use my still with induction stove. I see the box is a little bit dented, so I really hope the induction stove is still in one piece. I will definitely test that out. All right, got some aquarium heaters. Those I use for my fermentations to keep the fermentation temperature regulated so that the yeast doesn't stress too much if it's cold or too hot. Coffee beans. I use this when I tend to almost neutralize my nose between tastings. So that's probably the strong coffee smell that I get. We got some wood chips as well. Smells nice. Use them for aging from rum to normal moonshine to whatever. Used it quite a lot. All right, here is my stainless steel mortar and paste. I use this to crush botanicals, especially when I'm doing gin or when I do a spice rum. I use that one for that actions. All right, some more wood chips. Put them there. And then everything is so... All right, here's my retrot. So this part you screw onto the bar that was there, and then you would screw on the crocodile teeth as well, but I can't see it now, but it's probably in here somewhere. All right, so here is the condenser. Yes, you can see my shotgun condenser. Still looks good. We'll test it out and see if it should not leak. It should be good, but just so you know how it's not too scratches or dent. This is just a extender pipe, straight extender pipe, nothing too fancy. Because it's a modular still, it's very nice. You can do all types of adjustments. You want to do a pot still for the day, or a whiskey, or a high reflux run, you can interchange it. Liked it very much. Got my scale. We'll also definitely test this one out. Just use this to measure out my yeast, or also botanicals for gin, to make sure. I always try to keep my quantities right, especially when I'm doing recipes. If I get something that's very nice, I try to always have that same consistency. All right, here, crap, I can't remember what you call this thing. It was a auto siphoning. Feels like there's a piece missing. Oh no, wait, there we go. There we go. All right, so you will have it in your drum like that, and then you will actually start to pump it, and then as soon as that siphon starts, then it will just go. Tend to keep it a little bit away from the bottom so it doesn't suck all the dead yeast out. But yes, I must say I never really had success with this. I tried it a few times, but maybe someone can explain to me how it properly works. I watched a few videos, but it always tends to look the video much easier, and then when you try it, it's not really working. So I would just tend to, I have another pipe, or just disconnect the pipe, use the old, suck a little bit and pour it over, then it works. All right, okay. Here we got Cycloss. I think I will open it up later. It still looks fairly intact, no cracks, no nothing. Also got my perforated plate at the bottom. Hopefully you can see it. Copper perforated plate. I actually use it for the gin basket, so the botanicals will lie on the perforated plate. But yes, I just rather put it there. Alright, Cycloss panner. Use that quite a lot, especially when I had my larger still. Use that one quite a lot. Ooh, that came out. Okay, so this is the, I don't know what's the fancy word for this, but the induction stove used, or must have a not a metallic, a magnetic. It must have a magnetic metal. So yes, I'm not sure what this fancy word is, type of an induction adapter. So the 13-liter pot that I have is stainless steel, but the stainless steel is not as magnetic as I thought it would be. So it's not working with the induction stove directly. So I have this induction adapter. So this will make sure that the induction stove heats up, and then it just still stands on top of this, and it works brilliantly. The first night that I had my still, very excited. You set up everything, you get the induction stove ready. I got my, I can't even remember what I had, a sugar wash or something inside. Switched on, and then the stove didn't want to work, and I thought the stove is busted. So eventually figured it out, it's the adapter that's the problem. So I actually just took a frying pan and had the frying pan there with the still on that frying pan, and I still did my distillation. All right, next up. All right, aha, the copperhead, very nice. Also got a nice big thermometer on it as well. I used to like it. What is it? Currently 16 degrees Celsius and 61 degrees Fahrenheit for my American friends. Alright, I'll definitely check that one out as well. Still got it fairly good bubble wrapped, so doesn't seem like it's got any damage on it. Everyone, a quick insight. So when I was done with the video, when I was building my still and I packed everything away that was on the table, I packed everything out again to take nice photos and just try to put them nicely in the cupboard so I can know where they are. And then I realized that I don't got any of my bubblers as well as my taps that I use for the fermenting drums. So started thinking where could they be, thinking of all the stuff that's in the garage and everything that we packed. And then my wife actually asked me, have you checked all your parts in your still? So I did check the boiler. The boiler is empty. But I didn't bother checking the copperhead, and there you have it. So very interesting. So let's have another short discovery quickly. Ooh, now I got all of these in. So yes, got my small bubblers that I use for my fermentation, and I also see I got some larger ones that I used on the 100-liter barrels. So they can handle a little bit more flow rate or CO2 rate that comes out than these small ones. Let's see, I've got a few of them. These are my lids for my plastic bottles. I didn't see my plastic bottles. That's interesting. I think I threw them away because I thought that I'm always going to get bottles again, so we will definitely check those out. My electrical glands that I use for my aquarium heaters to also seal them and make sure that they don't leak. I've got a few bubblers in here. Basically all the bubblers. Okay. Right, a bit stuck. Oh, there it goes. These are the rubber seals that I actually use to seal between the lid and the bubble itself to make sure that it doesn't leak. No, this one doesn't want to come out. Just feel, oh, the bubble is just went askew. There we go. And more stuff. Oh, some extra seals and my big glass fermenters, bubble caps as well, and just some straight seal tape, but I've never really used it. Only when I did my initial thermometers on there, but other than that, never really used them again. And then another bag. Ah yes, that's what I wanted. Now it's empty. Yes, these are all the taps that I use for the 100-liter barrels as well as my 20-liter fermenters. They've got a nice seal, so also make sure that when I do close it that it's nice and tight and doesn't leak here, and then I can just open the tap and strain out or drain or whatever I need. Alright guys, now for the rest of the video. Thank you. Oh, almost took the wrong end. No, there's a few that fell out. All right, as I distill, and when I come to the last bit of cuts, I had my 4 shots as well, 4 shots, and then especially by the end, getting to the tails, I tend to use the smaller cups to get that taste, make sure my cuts is fine. Especially when you're trying out a new recipe and you're not 100% sure yet how it's going to taste. You don't want to have a big jar that you're filling and filling and filling, and by the time you're done filling and you taste it's not good, then you don't know exactly where the cut was. So I use this smaller ones to get that final cut, and as soon as I did it once or twice and I have got that recipe, then it's easier. Then I can distill straight into a larger vessel and I would know, all right, at this percentage or this time more or less, then I know that's my cutoff time. But yes, definitely use those. Very, very handy. All right, got my 4-inch bubble cap bubble tray. Use this one quite a lot. Had a lot of them. Had 8 on my 100-liter still, but yes, still have got one. We will definitely use that one again. What do we have here? Oh, here's my column still. Yes, so this has got, actually that way, so it's got 4, there's the bottom one there as well, 4 bubble caps with a small perforated plate. Because of the size of the 13-liter still, they use this as a type of a column still. Yeah, not sure what else they do call it, but a lot of people will tend to have just a straight pipe with packing in. It gives you more or less the same effect. This just looks very neat and very fancy, and because it's got glass as well, you can actually see how everything bubbles. So I went to a lot of ways to see how things work, so that's why I like the glass sections. But yes, you can use a straight stainless steel pipe with packing inside. It doesn't matter, or a glass pipe for that matter, and you can actually see the packing as well. But yes, my column still. All right, here's the parrot. All right, we will definitely use that one as well. Put your thermometer, your hydrometer or alcohol meter in there. So we'll definitely use that one as well. Right. I think this was actually this extended pipes bag. That's fine. Okay. Okay. I can't remember what this was for. I don't know. Alright. Just some clamps to help the modular still. You clamp and disconnect everything. It works very well. Can't remember what type of clamps they call them. So a little bit long ago. Alright. See, I've got some copper as well. I tend to, especially when I do a rum run, I would use on the last bend or the last straight, I would roll the copper and place them in there just to help a little bit of, capturing some of those impurities. For grain as well, also works very well. It's always good to have a little bit of copper in your still. Yes, I think, I feel it's not a must, but it's a good practice to always try and have a little bit of copper somewhere in your still. All right, here's my clamp or crocodile teeth for the retrot. We'll definitely show you guys how this one also works. All right, let me get this one. All right, here it is, my 13-liter boiler, and there you can see, for South African purposes, this still is, or this boiler is registered. That's also why I'm able to be a home and hobby distiller legally in South Africa. As long as you have your boiler serialized and registered, it's almost fall up my hat. It's the purpose why you typically have to register your boiler, because they see this as the pressurized vessel. The boiling will happen in here, and if it's closed, it's a pressurized vessel. Very funny. It's actually embossed or punched in the serial number, as well as saying how much it is, a 13-liter. So I can see I've got a bunch of stuff in here. I don't know what I have got in there, but I think some of my other hydrometers are also in here. I think we'll just put this one there for now, and then we'll check what's left in here. All right, got my bent, 180 bent on top. So typically the boiler, all my column stalls and small condenser, before everything needs to be condensed, then it will go there. And that's why I also said I will put sometimes the copper in this 180 bent as well. Got some cups. I feel like I'm missing my small defraginator. Maybe it's in here. Okay, we will check. More cups. Yeah, I've got potassium carbonate and then probably citric acid. Yes, my citric acid. So citric acid I would definitely use to clean the still and also clean the copper, make it nice and shiny again. And then between the two of them I would use it for pH correction, potassium to bring up or increase the pH, and the citric acid to bring the pH down for fermentation. Yes. And I've got a nice pack oak chips, 1 kilogram. This is French oak used barrels that they would chop up like this, and I would then use it to age or wood my rum or moonshine to make a little bit of whiskey. Smell it a bit, it smells very nice. And then just got some cups left. Oh, here's actually one of my bubble caps. Interesting. All right, just some more plastic cups. Where did I put the other drum lid? Oh, it's the drum standing on top of it. Okay, that's fine. Let's just do this for now. I want to get that 13-liter boiler to see if we can unpack that one. But all right, let's see. Right, seals or gaskets for every time you build your still up with a modular, you put a seal or gasket in between to make sure that all your vapors stay inside and they don't escape, because that's what you want. I don't know how do I get everything in here. Another thermometer. So this thermometer is normally that I put right at the top of my column that I built just before the 180 degree bend, just so that I can measure what is my temperature right on top of the still before it gets too condensed. Normally if I distill, I would check, I like my temperature anything here from 72 degrees Celsius, then I know good stuff is coming out. But as we moved now here, we're from a high altitude to a lower altitude, that might change. So it's actually going to be interesting to see the first time when I do the still, how is it going to affect. All right, so here I've just got a breather that you can actually use. Parrot will come on there, and then it's just a breathing pipe to help that your still doesn't pull a vacuum. That's one of the reasons you have it. Oh, small gin bag, you can definitely see has been used. Smells like fennel or anise, star anise. Interesting. Definitely was busy making a gin with that one. This one looks a little bit better. All right, let's see. Ooh, there's broken glass. All right. Okay. First culprit that I can find. There's a chip on the side glass of the barrel, of the boiler. So this is going to be interesting to actually see if it's still going to seal and how it's going to work. It's fortunate, there goes a little piece. It's fortunate right on the edge, so it might not be too bad. The seal itself seals on the flat face here, so might be fine and get away with it. The seal on this side as well is also on the flat side. But yes, trying to think, you know, how could this happen? Because it will definitely, you need to knock it. But yes, all right, it's interesting. Just put it there. Right. So here's some of my hydrometers, and also most probably an alcohol meter or two. Let's see, yes, got an alcohol meter here. This looks good in one piece, 0 to 100 ABB. And then here, here's my hydrometer. Got all the different scales on here, bricks, sugar, Yeah, all coming back to me. Yeah, very excited to get stuff going again, guys. All right, the rest, I see here's more stuff in here, but I honestly can't tell you how did I get everything in here. Okay, this is a piece of rubber. Also not sure exactly what it's called, but there you go. So this I actually put inside the 13-liter still at the bottom. When I do some type of botanicals, or where there's, even when you do a spice rum or something, but when you have got, yeah, what's the word now? When you do got any botanicals or seeds or whatever you have, and you don't want it to lie on the bottom of your still to burn, I use this, and it will actually lift it a little bit up, and you can still boil in the liquid that you have. So yes, I actually use this a lot, especially for gin making as well. Alright, just a lapiki, a cloth. Use that to shine the still. What do we have here? Oh, small pipettes that you used to suck out alcohol a little bit, especially when we were making gin. I used to strain out a little bit at a time. Now what's that? The holder. Okay, let's see. Let's try and get it through here again. Oh, here's something small. My pH meter. I have to get this one scaled. All right, let's see what's next. Got another hydrometer. I remember one was broken, but I also intend to keep extra spares. This one's also still good. Glad to see that even with all the transport stuff is still staying nice. It was also the packaging that comes in with it, so that's also good. See, there's something else. Let's see. Got some. Oh, not sure I'm gonna get this one out. Some of the oak. I'll pull it out like this. Yes. When I did the toasting of the oak chips, I got a lot of sticks. What do you call it? Staffs. More. Yes. Okay. So I had that as normal French oak barrels that I also chopped up, and then I put them in the oven and I actually roasted them. You can smell them a little bit. Oh, I see, I even got still the numbers on here to say how much charring it was. So we'll definitely play around with those as well. What else got here? My digital thermometer. I actually like this one because I use it also when I did my starch conversion. I will also use this one as well to put inside and have a look and see what is the temperature. Got here straining cloths. Just when I do fermentation and you strain out your fermentation to make sure there's no yeast in it anymore. Sometimes after I strained it, I will also let it lie a little bit and then restrain it, and then sometimes surprised at how much you get out again. So yes, we'll definitely use that as well. Still got a few things in here. Some more gin bags, brand new one, a very used up one. Then, see, okay, got all the clamps, got them wrapped in a cloth. I want to pull the cloth. Maybe I must try and lift everything out at once. That's fine. Let's just take out one thing. All right, here's my small defraginator or reflux condenser, or just a very short shotgun condenser. I use right on top of the still. Get your cool down, force that reflux to go down. I think I'm just gonna take out the clamps individually. See, here comes the cloth. Alright, so yes, if I can remember correctly, this is 2-inch, 2-inch, and then the top one is 4-inch. But yes, 2-inch clamps. Because after the copper head, everything is 2-inch. But yeah, the base itself is a 4-inch, and also the side cloth is 4-inch with the bubble caps as well. What do we got there? Activated carbon. Huh. How did I get this in there? I'll get that one out later. Okay, some pH strips. Oh, and also my calibration for the pH. Good. It's like a sachet that you make up your water to make a 4 pH or a 7 pH that you use to calibrate your pH meter. Clamp. Got some cooling pipes still. More. You got all my cooling water clips. Right. Ooh. There we go. So all the cooling water clips, nice quick release, helps a lot. Also a needle valve that I can tune in those reflux cooling water as well. Very nice. Right, one more loose cooling pipe. And then only the activated carbon. So let's do this. Need to get the bag out and then let the carbon fill the bag, and then it should just slide out. All right. So activated carbon, especially if you want to clean out your product, you know, after you've distilled something and you might feel like there's a funny taste, you can use activated carbon on that. Typically when you do a type of a vodka, they would use a little bit of activated at the end to really get a nice smooth taste. It also removes color, so if you do make a gin or something and you would like the color, don't use activated carbon afterwards, it will remove the color as well. All right, and that's it. It's empty. It was clean, but it kind of looks like it's got a ring in here. Very interesting. Need definitely to clean it out. So that's it, guys. So a lot of things came out, more than I thought would be. So I will definitely start to sort out, get it packed up neatly. I will actually build the still just to make sure everything is here. And next steps will be then to clean it out. I'm going to treat it as a first use or first clean. So I'm going to first clean it with vinegar, and then after the vinegar I'm going to do a sacrificial alcohol run, but I'll definitely do a recording on that so you guys can actually see how it's done as well. And then test all the electrical equipment. Yes, we've got a few electrical equipment that I will have to test and see if it's still working. And then especially when we do our cleaning the vinegar or sacrificial alcohol run, we'll see this cyclase in front. You know, is it actually still sealing or not? It's going to be interesting if it's not sealing. I remember there's the company that I bought it from, it's up in Gauteng in Pretoria. So maybe they've got a spare little cyclase. Or maybe I can search for a shop here in the Western Cape. Maybe they will sell it as a, I mean, it's going to be a 2-inch cyclase and it's actually maybe a 1/4 inch thick. But yes. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. If you find it insightful, please give me a thumbs up and a comment or two. As always, remember to be awesome, to be kind, and be yourself. Cheers.